What's up, Niner fam? My name is JT Magnum. Welcome back to Niner News. We're going to talk about the 53-man roster. It's finally set. Well, sort of. A couple things happened today that kind of offset it, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's talk about the quarterbacks first. There are 3 quarterbacks on the roster, not 2. Last year there was 2, Blaine Gabbert and Colin Kaepernick. This year it's Blaine Gabbert, Colin Kaepernick, and Christian Ponder. And a surprise cut with Jeff Driscoll being cut. I actually thought that he would be kept, and he was actually cut. He actually went to the Bengals. The Bengals claimed him off waivers, and I was actually shocked because I thought that actually he might make it to the practice squad, but apparently the Bengals saw something in him they liked, and they kept him. They took him. Running backs, we have Carlos Hyde, Sean Drawn, Mike Davis, and newly signed Dwan Harris today. They signed Dwan Harris today and put Will Redmond on the IR. We'll get to that in just a second as well. Not a big surprise here, although I thought Dwan Harris might be the odd man out and Kelvin Taylor might be in, but Kelvin Taylor was dropped, but he was able to make it to the practice squad, so he's in there as well. Torrey Smith, Quentin Patton, Jeremy Curley, Aaron Burbridge, Rod Streeter. I know, Rod Streeter. They're the 5 wide receivers on the team. And now this was the shocker because I was a little confused at what was going on here. I didn't think Aaron Burbridge would make the actual 5-man roster. I thought he would actually be in the practice squad, but we knew Torrey Smith and Quentin Patton were going to make it. You knew when they traded for Jeremy Curley, he was going to make it. What we didn't know is that Aaron Burbridge would make it because we basically heard nothing from him we heard nothing from any wide receivers really in the preseason, but Aaron Burbridge was the one that what did he do? So I was a little confused at that one. Rod Streeter, he had a decent 1 year in Oakland. He's a speed guy. We need that kind of guy. I get it, but I don't understand why he made it over DeAndre White, who was actually released and not even put on a practice squad. So that confused me. That to me annoyed me a little bit because I thought DeAndre White was a rising guy that would actually do some good, but I guess he struggled in preseason enough to the point where the coaching staff just didn't want him, and they traded with Kansas City for Rod Streeter. I don't know, it baffles me. That is what got me. On the tight ends, it was Vance McDonald, Garrett Selleck, Blake Bell, and Bruce Miller. But the news today, Bruce Miller was arrested again for basically he was intoxicated, stumbled into a hotel room that wasn't his. When the person said, "Hey, this isn't your room," he apparently beat up the person and his 70-year-old father. So I don't know what's going on with that situation. I have no clue, but the Niners released him today. He'll probably get picked up by the Seahawks most likely, or picked up by somebody, but he's probably going to end up suspended. But he'll be picked up by somebody for sure because somebody needs a fullback, and he's a really good fullback. And he's also recently converted to tight end. He does well there, but he's mostly noted for his fullback, and guaranteed somebody's going to pick him up. Who, I don't know, but you just can't. I guess you can't have that kind of mess being in San Francisco, and that's the second time now being arrested in the last 2 years, or last year pretty much, and that's it. You're done. So that leaves 3 tight ends on the roster. I have a feeling that Jerron Ham is going to be the guy get picked back up. He is on the practice squad, but I have a feeling he might move up and then maybe they'll put somebody else on the practice squad. Not sure. We'll see. But right now, there's 3 tight ends on the roster. Offensive linemen, they kept 9 of them. We went from basically no depth last year to now this amazing depth at the offensive line. And I thought for sure that the offensive line will improve this year, and they did it. And they're trying to keep all their offensive linemen. They don't want anybody getting them. And Joe Staley, Zane Beadles, Daniel Kilgore, Anthony Davis, Trent Brown, Josh Garnett, John Theus, Andrew Tiller, and Marcus Martin. There's a couple rookies obviously on there. A couple of them made it to the practice squad. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, 9 offensive linemen. They had to keep them. They have to interchange them. So I really like what they did there, and I really like the offensive line this year. I think it's going to be a very, very big changing point for the 49ers this year. Defensive line: Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Quentin Dial, Glenn Dorsey, Mike Purcell, Ronald Blair, and Tony Gerard-Eddy. I thought that maybe Mike Purcell be gone, but given all the injuries and things that have been happening, nope, he's staying. But that defensive line is going to be a beast, especially with Ronald Blair. He has been difficult to block in the preseason. No surprise that he made the roster. The guy is just phenomenal. He can play linebacker, he can play defensive line, he can play defensive end, he can play defensive tackle. You just put him everywhere. They've been putting him everywhere in preseason. He's been doing well at every position they put him at. So I'm definitely excited about that. And that's probably the reason why they kept 3 linebackers, other than the fact that Aaron Lynch is suspended for the first 4 games. But Ahmad Brooks is still there. Somehow the guy still makes it. Eli Harold and Tank Carradine. They released Corey Lemonnier, which is not a surprise. He was been nothing but a disappointment since he's been drafted. And the surprise release was Marcus Rush. I thought Marcus Rush made the team. I mean, 6 preseason sacks. Granted, they were against subpar talent because they were against second and third stringers, or maybe third and fourth stringers. Who knows? But the point is, he did get 6 sacks, and he made it to the practice squad. Nobody claimed him. I was shocked about that, but nobody claimed him. He made it to our practice squad, so he's still on the team. But it just sucks that the guy works so hard, in my opinion. Like, he works so hard, and he's been doing so well. But yet the poor guy still cannot make the 53-man roster. But it is what it is, and Aaron Lynch is going to be the 4th offensive linebacker when he comes back. I don't know. I wonder who's going to be the odd man out. I think it's going to be in this core, which is the inside linebackers: Navarro Bowman, Gerald Hodges, Ray Armstrong, Michael Wilhoit, and Nick Bellore. I think Michael Wilhoit will be the odd man out when Aaron Lynch comes back. I think he didn't have a strong preseason. I didn't think he did well. I think Gerald Hodges and Ray Armstrong outplayed him. I think he's going to be the guy out. Nick Bellore is more valued because Nick Bellore can take over for Navarro Bowman. I know Wilhoit can too, but Wilhoit doesn't play special teams like Nick Bellore does, so that makes Nick Bellore more of a person that we want to keep. So I think Michael Wilhoit's going to end up being that odd man out. Now, the cornerbacks, we have Tremaine Brock, Jimmy Ward, Chris Davis, Rashard Robinson, Keith Reeser, and Dante Johnson. Now, Will Redmond was on this list as well, but the problem is now Will Redmond's been placed on IR, but he has been given the designated to return. So they have one chance or one spot to issue that person to, or issue to a person basically to get him off of IR. So he might be able to come off of IR at some point in the season, and they can bring him back. So I think they don't have confidence in him right away, but they wanted to clear up a spot, so they brought in Duane Harris, clear up a spot by putting him on IR for a little while, and maybe they'll roll that way to see what happens, because they do have like 6 other cornerbacks. So I think they'll be fine at corner. And you still got here the safeties: Eric Reed, Antoine Bethea, Jaquaski Tart, and Marcus Cromartie. Marcus Cromartie is converted safety. He made the team over LJ McCray, who got traded but is now back on the 49ers because he failed his physical with the Seattle Seahawks, which I'm shocked that they traded him to Seattle Seahawks. Why would you give a guy who's one of the best special teams players on our team and a hard hitter to that team, who's a rival? I was confused about that. Why they made a trade, I don't know. I guess he was going to get cut regardless, so they just tried to get any draft pick they could for him. So they tried to, Seattle wanted him badly apparently for their special teams, so they traded for him, but unfortunately he failed the physical, so now he's back on the 49ers and most likely going to be released. The kicker still, obviously, the old ageless wonder, Phil Dawson. Punter still Bradley Pinion. Long snapper, of course, is Kyle Nelson. He always makes a team as a long snapper. Injured reserve, DeAndre Smelter is on the injured reserve again, gone for the year. I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's designated to return or be able to return. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me if you guys know. But as far as I know, he's not going to be able to come back. And Will Redmond is, like I said, he is able to come back. They're able to take him off of IR. And bring him back. So, or maybe DeAndre Smelter is, I'm not sure, but I know they waived him first. He was on the waived injured, but nobody claimed him, so now he's on the injured reserve for the 49ers. But I doubt either one of those two will come back this year. I think they'll just wait until next year to use them. And another year of DeAndre Smelter being on the IR and not being able to use them. This time it's the hamstring that got him. It's just one after the other. It was the knee first because, Balky likes to draft the guys with the knees, and now after the knee, here's the hamstring. So I don't know. We're gonna see with that, but I just don't get it. I don't get why so many wide receivers been passed up in the last couple years from the 49ers. I mean, we had Sharon Peak there. We had guys this year that we could have drafted, that we could have picked up, and they just passed them all. And now here we are again, and we're trading for wide receivers that are going to do us no good, in my opinion, and we're trading for people that just make no sense, and we're rolling with the people we have again. It's like, get a wide receiver, Balky. What is wrong with you? What does it take for you to get a weapon out on the outside that can help us and help the running game and help the passing game? I just can't figure it out. But we'll see what happens this year with the wide receivers we do have. We'll see how Chip Kelly uses them, but I don't like it. I don't like that they keep doing this, and then when you finally get a wide receiver, they're dropping them now. So it makes no sense, but is what it is, like I said. And the practice squad, it's Dre Anderson, a wide receiver, of course, who actually did pretty well, but now he's on the practice squad. Alex Balducci, who was a rookie, they converted him from a defensive lineman to now an offensive lineman. Fawn Cooper, Jerron Ham, who might be moving up. I think he might be moving up. Prince Charles Aurora, who was a cornerback. They obviously have enough of those. Norman Price, Marcus Rush, the surprise guy, like I said. Shane Scove again is on the practice squad this time. Calvin Taylor made it to the practice squad. And Chris Harper, who was claimed from New England. He's a wide receiver. I don't understand his pickup either because it makes no sense. Because why would you drop DeAndre White but then pick up Chris Harper? That just, it makes no sense to me. So Davin Kajust was another release that I was shocked. I don't think he got picked up. I know Jeff Driscoll got picked up. I know Garrison Smith got picked up. He was dropped. That was another surprise. He had a really, really strong preseason. He was a good run stuffer in the middle, at least in the preseason he was. And of course, guess who picks him up? Seattle Seahawks. It just baffles me that the 49ers just let people go. I don't get it, but like I said, we'll see what happens this year. We'll see what happens, how this goes. But let me know what you think about the 53-man roster in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I like the 53-man roster, just minus a couple trades and things that happened. I really wish we had some different wide receivers. I really wish they picked up Ruben Randall. I don't know why they kept pick up a guy like Rod Streeter when they could have a guy like Ruben Randall out there who's proven at least at wide receiver and can do something. You know, at 6'2". He's a big wide receiver and fast. At least we can use him. Chip Kelly usually likes those, which is shocking because he didn't draft one or didn't even trade for one. So I'm interested to see what happens this year. So we'll see. But like I said, let me know in the comment section what you think about the 53-man roster and the upcoming game against the Rams on this Monday night. So after that Monday night game, I'll probably put a video up either that Monday night after the game, probably not because it might be late, or like I said, or Wednesday or so, because Tuesday is the start of the sit-up show for fantasy football fiends. So either that or I'll have to put 2 videos up on Tuesday. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited about the game. I'm excited about what's coming up. And I don't know, I'm hoping for a 49er win again on Monday night to start the season. At least get our hopes up again. That's what I like. Hopes up for the playoffs. All right. So for JT Magnum, Niner News, I'm out. Peace.